tell you what, Mitrovic there tangles with Danny Baths, and he wins his fight. So he gets 5 yards on him. He's looking and looking and looking, and Pereira never once looks across at him. And you think, oh, come on, mate. You've just got this great big hulking striker on. He just won his battle. Give him the ball. And he's just not this. Sheffield Wednesday have equalised now. Typical that. Anyway. Some good games, and ours is a good one. Here's Solomon again.
Yeah, cutting inside onto his right foot with a shot from the edge of the area, always rising over the top from the Israeli, who, to be fair, when he has got forward, we've not seen much of him getting shots off, should I say. He's been getting to the byline and pulling it across. This time he goes alone, and he's got the space to do it, but he'll be disappointed that he got underneath the ball and it drifts harmlessly over. Yeah,
I mean, he cuts in on that good right foot. But in doing that, he's so hilariously off balance there. But once you're committed to your strike, you are, and then it sails into the crowd, doesn't it? But he's played pretty well today. We've been impressed with him. Played his part in the goal. Little step over, allowed the ball to go to Kazawa. His ball into the box was decent. There's Hugh Grant looking on. He's looking a bit old, isn't he, nowadays, with his cap on? Anyway. We can't all stay young forever like me. I'm the Peter Pan of football commentary.
Just under 71 minutes gone. Fulham 1, Sunderland 1. Here's Pereira, infield for Polina. It's just beginning to affect the game a little bit more as Fulham begin to push and look more dangerous. Here's Solomon, bursting infield, finding Polina once again, who this time works it from the middle out to the right, and Tete into Willian. Looks up from the Brazilian as he tries to get away from Barr. He slips as he looks to take his touch infield. Barr will pick the ball up on the edge of his own penalty area, but plays a poor pass. Diop wanted it more than Clark, and Fulham could be through again. Pereira, 25 yards out, trying to play it from right to left. He's asking for movement from Mana Solomon, because Solomon just stayed still, expecting the ball to be fizzed into his feet as Polina finds Diop once again. They're trying to do something here at Fulham without really doing it. Sunderland just keeping them at arm's length. Kearney into Mitrovic, back to goal. Mitrovic tries to find Kearney. Important challenge from Hume. But that again, another example of what Mitrovic does really well. As a ball in behind could release Jack Clark. Clark just allows Diop to get back in front of him. Clark trying to get it out of his feet, challenged by Tete. And the move breaks down. It's beginning to get stretched is this game as Fulham now push down the other end. Pereira into Willian. Willian, right hand side, pulls it back. Mitrovic, heavy first touch. And then well played by Niall Huggins to watch the ball behind.
Cracking game of football this. I mean, it broke to that end. Jack Clark's done well there, I think. He's just making sure that Diop can't get back to him. Diop's got goal side again. He's cutting onto his right, wanting to get his shot away. Tete just running, usually running in behind. He's going to get you nowhere. You're going to run into the back legs of a player, but he just reads it. He's going to cut onto that good right foot of his. So that's brilliant defending from Kenny Tete. It really is.
Maybe a bit of trouble here for Trey Hume, who's down just receiving a little bit of treatment. We've not seen anything in terms of a bad challenge or anything like that on him, so interesting to see if he will be okay. It looks like it might be cramp or something. He's just having his right leg stretched off at the moment. The physio who's out there just keeping an eye on him. So a reminder of the scores elsewhere then. So it's Walsall 0, Leicester 1 and Accrington 1, Leeds 3. They were the scores in the earlier games. Blackburn 2, Birmingham City 1, Bristol City 3, West Brom 0, Ipswich 0, Burnley 0, Luton 2, Grimsby 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Fleetwood 1, Southampton 2, Blackpool 1, and of course in our game it's Fulham 1, Sunderland 1. The late kickoffs, Preston take on Tottenham at 6 o'clock and Manchester United Reading in the Paul Ince derby at 8 o'clock tonight, as Tony Mowbray's just gesturing a couple of players over here because I think he's going to have to make changes, or is looking to make changes to his side. And with 16 and a half minutes to go, John, it's really well poised as this. There could still be a third, if not a fourth goal in this game. It feels like we're not done seeing goals.
No, I think not. I think it's getting stretched here. Fulham have got a stronger squad, haven't they? And it might just pay off at this point. Players like Willian now, I know he's a bit longer in the tooth, but he's excellent still. And he's just come on fresh as a daisy. I don't think Sunderland have the strength in depth. It's an obvious thing to say that Fulham do. They don't. And so it's a bit more problematic when Tony Mowbray's got to look to his bench, I think.
Here's Polina, edge of the penalty area, trying to wriggle his way through, goes down under a challenge, and The referee gives the free kick. It looked like he was looking for it, Polina, and he's having a good roll about on the edge of the box. A yellow card has been given to Danny Bath, I think it is, who put the challenge in. Our cameras are focusing on Barr, but I don't think it was him who actually stepped in as Polina goes across. Both Barr and Bath were the two who went for the challenge, and I think it was the latter who actually caught the man. Neither replay that we saw is conclusive. What is conclusive? It was a foul, and it's a free kick.
Yeah, it's a free kick. I think it's Willian territory. I don't know if he takes them anymore, but I mean, yeah, he's got the ball in hand, and whoever puts the ball down usually hits it. Although Kearney's up for it as well today. He's saying, "Are you going to take it, or am I going to take it?" Anyway, from the right-hand side, it actually suits a left footer, doesn't it? But anyway, Willian's pretty good at these.
Yeah, Kearney, Willian. Tossing also there as well. Looks like Abdullah Barr is the person who got yellow carded for the challenge.
Not sure about that. I thought like you, it was Danny Bath who intervened there and should have got the yellow card, but anyway.
Yeah, the free kick only a couple of yards outside the penalty area. It's to the right of centre, which is why, as John says, it favours a left footer really. But Willian will be fancying to try and go up and over the wall here. Both players looking at it. Willian, the expected one to take it. It is Willian who winds up right-footed, saved by Patterson to his left-hand side. It was a good height for the goalkeeper. Got across quickly and made the save as Clark goes back to Huggins. Bat will just put his foot through it and clear the ball away, and out for a Fulham throw-in on the right-hand side. And just looking at Willian's free kick again, Patterson took a couple of steps across, and in the end it's, again, I don't want to say a comfortable save, but a save you expect him to make.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad free kick, that, in as much as that he's actually whipped it over the top of the wall. You know, so once you've done that, I mean, the keeper's using that wall to protect his goal. That didn't happen. Changes are going to be made then for Sunderland. Is actually Hume coming off? I think he picked up some kind of injury, didn't he? But anyway, trying to see who they're bringing on now.
It looks like Jack Clark was the other player coming off. Yeah, so confirmation, Clark is definitely one of them. I think it was Pierre Eckwer was one of the substitutions. Jewison Bennett, I believe, is the other. So an attacking change in terms of Bennett coming on. Again, just another one to try and push forward and cause some problems. Harrison Reed and Bobby De Cordova Reed are coming on here for Polina, and another, I think it was Edouard Michou was the other Sunderland player who came off. Kearney is the other Fulham one. So Kearney and Polina off. Harrison Reed and Bobby De Cordova Reed on. So again, attacking changes, I suppose, from both sides that are not content with drawing this game.
No, exactly. That's a change of system for Fulham, who are going for it. Pierre Eckwer came on for Edouard Michou. That's correct. So we've just about sorted that out. Pierre Eckwer is the midfielder, just a youngster again. More defensive midfielder. Maybe they'd fancy getting him back to Stadium of Light for a replay, you know.
I'm going to say it's a difficult place to go, is the Stadium of Light, especially on a Tuesday night, so I'm sure they'll be looking to do that. But Jewison Bennett's definitely on as well, the lad who went viral because he got the local bus home after a game, like the second or third home game of the season. He got the bus home after the game because his dad couldn't come and pick him up. So a lad who's pretty down to earth, apparently. The Sunderland fans are big fans of him as Willian struggles to keep the ball in play. Willian's come across the left-hand side anyway as part of this change of shape for Fulham. Looks like he was in an offside position, but they've definitely changed something because they want to try and win this game. They don't want to replay. They don't want to pile up of fixtures.
No, you don't get players going to use the bus anymore. Back in the day, I think this is the 70s though. Terry Connor used to get the bus to Elland Road, so I believe. But anyway, you don't hear about that really.
No, as Dan Neil just lofts the ball forward, brought down by Patrick Roberts, who seems to have come across the middle for the time being, as Pierre Eckwer gets his first touch of the ball, finding Niall Huggins. Now back for Danny Bath once again. He finds Jewison Bennett, first touch for him, now Eckwer. And Fulham are stepping on, they're trying to put more pressure on Sunderland. It looks like as part of this shape change, De Cordova Reid is on the right, Solomon is through the middle, Pereira has dropped into the centre of midfield alongside Harrison Reid. So the shape is still the same, just the personnel are different, as Reid has possession now and plays a good ball. Well, it looked like a good ball out to Willian. It's undersold the Brazilian though, and now a chance for Sunderland to break forward with Trey Hume down the right hand side. He plays a good ball into Patrick Roberts, one-on-one with Livan Kazawa. Roberts with a back heel, the overlapping Hume tries to put the ball in. It's blocked though by Tosin and will be a throw-in.
Yeah, those Sunderland fans are loving it behind the goal, aren't they? They've made the trip. They'd be happy with the replay out of it, but you never know. More ambition. That ball didn't go out for a corner. It was a throw. Just about to try and take a corner there. But anyway, here's Roberts again. Brilliant ball. They've got round the back now. Real opportunity.
Yeah, Diallo in for Roberts. Shot saved. Ekwa shot saved as well. Then Neil with a strike over the top. Chances for Sunderland. Good play down the right-hand side. Roberts again alongside Diallo. It was pulled back. The first shot was blocked. Then Ekwa had a bite at it as well that was blocked before Neil just leans back and sort of slices it over the bar. But Sunderland not backing down here. They're as desperate to get that winner as Fulham are. Yeah,
Patrick Roberts with the first shot, wasn't it? He played a big part in the build-up there. I've always felt about him that, maybe he's not a goal scorer. He's more a creator, isn't he, than that. I felt that there was a blocker sliding in. He might just have let him slide by and put his foot on the ball. But anyway, you see the goal, you think you've got a chance, and well, that could have been it, a winner. So Marco Silva almost looking through his fingers at that, wasn't he? Somehow they've got away with that, and those Sunderland fans there were desperate, almost trying to suck the ball into the back of the net behind that goal.
Just under 9 minutes left to play then, plus time to be added on. Fulham 1, Sunderland 1, independent unofficial off-tube. Studio-based coverage of the FA Cup as Issa Diop breaks over the halfway line. Ball out now to Bobby De Cordova Reid on the right-hand side. Into Harrison Reid now. Almost dead centre of the Sunderland half. Finding Kazawa back to Tosin inside the centre circle. Exchanges passes with Reid as again they try and go through the gears and find a way through this Sunderland defence. Sunderland not wanting to press too much. Jewison Bennett the closest man to it. Again, he's not stepping on. Now he does step forward towards Diop, who does well to beat the press, and as he steps on, a challenge comes in, but Fulham continue with possession with Solomon into Mitrovic, who the pass just wasn't quite to him. Mitrovic applauding the pass from Solomon, but the two just not quite on the same wavelength there.
No, that ball stuffed towards him wasn't as sympathetic as he would have liked, but I think Mitrovic also understands that he might have done a better job of controlling it, but there we go. It's getting a bit dark now, floodlights on, crowd crackling with anticipation. Whatever happens here, both will go and think, well, yeah, it's a pretty good game of football, I think. But somebody could still win it and put their name in the hat for the next round. Nobody really wants a replay, do they? But they're only about 8 or so minutes away from that.
Rodak lofts his clearance straight up in the air. Neil will bring the ball down here. A good challenge that from Harrison Reid. Important challenge as well on Dan Neil. And now Pereira with a long ball over the top looking for Willian, who I was going to say does really well to keep the ball in play. His first touch was good. His second one just drifted out. So it will be a throw-in for Sunderland midway inside their own half as they try and get something from this game. They'll come crashing back down to earth next week. They take on Millwall at the Den back in Championship action. They'll want to go into it knowing that they're in the next round of the FA Cup, or knowing that they've got another tie with a Premier League side coming up. And for the Sunderland fans, I mean, they'll watch this and they'll get a bit excited and think, well, why can't we mix it with the Premier League? Why can't we go for it? And why shouldn't we go for it?
No, exactly. Like we said, the draw could open up. I mean, imagine if you're in the draw and, all due respect, you get an Ipswich or somebody like that and you have them at home. There's still, maybe an easy round to go. I think after that, you're probably going to have a difficult draw no matter what. But, yeah, I think there's another round in it for Sunderland at least if they can somehow hang on in here and obviously do well in the replay. But for the moment, if anybody's going to go on and win the game right now, it looks like it's going to be Fulham.
Here's De Cordova Reid on the right-hand side into Tete. Tete with the ball into the box. Mana Solomon with a strike. Saved by Patterson down to his right-hand side. And Solomon, who as part of this tactical change, has drifted in field and he's just been given a bit of a free roll, and he approaches the ball just inside the area right-footed. In the end, he doesn't get the pace to beat Patterson, who gets down low to his right and saves.
That's a really difficult shot for him. Ball coming from the right side onto his right boot. It's so easy to shank that and look stupid doing it. You know, so he's ever so careful, and in being careful, he's taking the devil out of his strike. You know, in the end, it's a comfortable hit and comfortable for the keeper. But I think you've got a real job on just, you know, trying to get that effort on target, never mind hitting the back of the net.
Here's Harrison Reed back for Tossin, who does well to just about evade a challenge, then gives the ball away. Here's Bennett into Ekwa, out towards the right-hand side. It goes out of play. The pass not sticking from the substitute. So it will be a Fulham throw-in and another Sunderland change here. Tony Mowbray just giving a few pats of encouragement there.
He's bringing a 12-year-old on. Who is that? They've got some really young kids, haven't they? And you know, for Sunderland, I'm not sure who that is who's coming on, but doesn't look particularly old, does he?
Yeah, it's Patrick Roberts who's come off. Chris Rigg, the young man coming on. So again, a change, not quite a change out of nowhere, but a change and an opportunity for the 15-year-old. You said they were bringing a kid on. He is 15, born on the 18th of June 2007. Does that make you feel old? Yeah, it makes me feel old.
Yeah,
John.
it does. It makes me feel real old. Do you know, I was laughing when I said he looked like he was 12, but he does look young.
Here's Tete balling for Mitrovic, whose header from 8 yards out is saved by Patterson. And that is the chance that he has been waiting for. Incidentally, Chris Rigg, it's his debut. His Sunderland debut, and he's doing it at Premier League Fulham. What a moment for the 15-year-old. But a big chance this for Mitrovic. Tete just floats it in, and 8 yards out. It's almost too flush on Mitrovic. He can't step onto it. It's straight on him. And in the end, it's a comfortable take for Patterson.
It is. He's got enough power on it. But it's right over the goalkeeper's head, really. He got enough head on that, you know. It's either side of the goalkeeper, it flies in. It's one of those things, you know. Anyway, here's a chance for Sunderland.
Yeah, Rigg with a long ball forward, looking for Barr, who isn't going to keep it in play. The young man Chris Rigg, who's got his shirt tucked into his shorts. He looks like a young lad. It's what a moment for him. What a moment for him. But he overcooked that.
Honestly, you know, when he came on and Mowbray just had his arms on his shoulders like that, I thought, oh, he's a young lad. But he could have been 22 for all I know. Do you know what I mean? He still would be young to me. But then you think, yeah, he looks like he's a 15-year-old. He sure does.
Here's Diallo on the right-hand side. Sunderland deep in Fulham territory. They go back up the line to Bennett. It looks like Rigg is playing almost as the main striker, really. He's the furthest man forward as Willian evades one challenge. Ekwa comes across and wins the second. And now Ballard infield for Neal through the legs of Harrison Reed. Well trapped back, though, by Pereira. And now Diop. And that's a poor pass from Solomon. Important challenge from Tete, who then skips away from Rigg, who continues to chase down the Fulham defenders, try and win it back, and he does put the challenge in, but Bobby D. Cordova-Reid does really well to get away from two challenges. Then Ekwa wins it before Rigg plays it out to Barr on the left-hand side. Barr now heading towards the penalty area, pulls it back for Ekwa. Ekwa on his left foot gets the shot off that deflects over. It's a Sunderland corner.
Did well there, didn't he, young Chris? We're rooting for him now, aren't we? Honestly, if he hooks this one in, the Sunderland fans are excited, aren't they, behind that goal? They've got every right to be. There's just a minute and a half left of regulation play. An opportunity here for young Chris Rigg to be a hero. Played his part winning that ball that's won the corner. The big guys go up there. Bath and Ballard just having a word with each other here. An opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be whipped in left-footed, out swinging from the far side as we see it. In towards the head of Ballard, who does get the header on it. Saved by Rodak. Fulham just calm it down. I'm just looking at Chris Rigg. He was playing for the under-18 side when he was 13 years old. So this is a kid who obviously has a lot of talent for him to be involved that high up. He's been playing with the under-21s this season, which again as a 15-year-old is a real sign of how good you are as a young player. We're into the final minute at Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, Sunderland 1. And it's the Cottagers trying to come forward with Willian. Back for Harrison Reed. Now across to Issa Diop. Kenny Tete back for Diop once again, as Sunderland just stepping on to Fulham, trying to force a mistake they have on a couple of occasions. Got that mistake out of them, but they don't want to press and leave spaces open. Pereira now transitioning from left to right. Here's Diop out of his feet, trying to push forward, and he manages to evade one challenge, drills it into the area. Mitrovic trying to get there. It's a poor touch from Ekwa. Pereira now out for Willian inside the penalty area. Willian back for Mitrovic. Mitrovic gets the shot off, deflecting over. Important block from Ballard, and it'll be a Fulham corner as the last action of the 90.
Yeah, well, we just thought when the ball broke to him, I thought, well, that's it then, got his head down. Look at him, he's always looking for good position. He's in the box, he's unmarked. How does that happen to their big number 9? You can't miss him, can you? But yet he sort of just drifts off half a yard, picks the ball up then. It's a good block to take that away from him.
Yeah, we're into 4 minutes added on at the end of this game. Pereira will whip this in, right-footed, in-swinging. Lofts it in towards the sort of middle of the 6-yard box. Patterson's cleared it, but he's limping now. Anthony Patterson could have a problem, the Fulham keeper, and if Fulham have seen this, they need to get some shots off here. Ball out towards the left-hand side is a poor one, and now maybe a chance for Sunderland to try and break. Down the right-hand side with Diallo, the ball slightly behind him. Diallo will skip in field here, and then slots the ball through for Barr. Looks like he was offside. Barr goes on, pulls it back for Rigu, hammers it in!
No way!
And the 15-year-old may have just won it for Sunderland! He rifles it off the underside of the bar. VAR will check and see if it's offside or not. But we may have just seen a record-breaking moment in the FA Cup. Fulham 1, Sunderland 2. There's going to be a VAR check. We're just seeing it again. But Diallo was breaking forward. My immediate reaction is Barr is offside.
He is offside.
And he is offside.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Let's focus on what Rig does. You know, he's leaning back. He got his body shape right over the top of the ball, but it has been ruled out. Well, that would have been a real fairy tale. It'd be a fairy tale if they come away with a draw from this, but there's 2.5 minutes left, and here come Fulham again. Yeah,
Willian inside the penalty area, down the left-hand side, gets away from a couple of challenges. The shot's blocked. De Cordova-Reid then finds Willian again. Looked like he was offside. Referee says play on. Kazawa with a ball in towards the back post. Mitrovic rises. It's cleared away by Ekwa. And now again, Sunderland will try and break. This time down their left-hand side. Barr just runs himself off the pitch, and Tete wins it back. Barr has stayed down off the pitch here as Mitrovic tries to get through on the end of De Cordova-Reid's ball. It's cleared away. It is breathless stuff at Craven Cottage.
Yeah, Chris Rigg, he played he became the Black Cats' youngest outfield player in their history at Shrewsbury in the last round. But that would have been something else. He took his chance really well. Great celebration as well. Cut short by VAR, but it was the right decision because Barr was offside by a mile, wasn't he?
Here's Pereira. Now the ball out towards the left-hand side of Kazawa. Good first touch from him. His second one just shows a little bit to Diallo as he lofts it into the penalty area. Patterson's definitely struggling to move at the moment, the goalkeeper. As Solomon tries to bring it down, Ekwa will clear, and Sunderland will now push themselves out with 1.5 minutes to go. Tossing all the way back to Rodak, who takes a touch and lofts it long under pressure from Bennett. The seconds ticking away. We look like we're headed to a replay, but there could well still be another twist in this tale as Ekwa gives the ball away to Solomon on the right hand side, midway inside Sunderland territory, into the final minute of the 4 added on. Diop with a long ball forward, looking for Mitrovic, brings it down on his chest. Mitrovic trying to get away from Ballard. Mitrovic still in the area. Mitrovic's shot deflected. Patterson with a save from De Cordova-Reid. Willian then hits it, and Patterson tips it over again. And Patterson, who's literally on his last legs, hobbling around all over the place, makes a couple of really important saves to keep it level.
I don't know, how did that not go in? I thought Mitrovic, when he picked it up, I think he may have been offside when that first ball came in, and if they'd rolled it back to the point where he first picked it up, then it may have been ruled out. But we'll never know, will we? And then Bobby Reed's point blank header. And then Willian, his shot tipped over as well, so it's a corner kick.
Yeah, Pereira with it right-footed in, swinging, lofts it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, bobbles around all over the place. And now Sunderland will try and bring it away with Barr, who just stabs the ball clear. And they know they're headed to a replay, and they are heading to a replay as Michael Salisbury blows the full-time whistle. A breathless frantic, entertaining FA Cup tie finishes level at Craven Cottage. The full-time score is Fulham 1, Sunderland 1.